We're up to 5 people. Cool. Four. Sorry, I just lost somebody. All right, if you are here, come say hello. Just getting started. I'm gonna shoot some B-roll today. Nothing super special, but I got to shoot some B-roll showing how to use the Digital Photo Chameleon LED tube. So, while I'm here, thought I'd try this, and once I get my main camera set up to shoot the B-roll, I'll put that into the live stream as well. If you're here, feel free to say hi in the comments. This Digital Photo Chameleon LED tube is super, super tight in the carry case. There we go. Alright, let's leave that there for now. Hey, Marlon Parnell. Marlon Parnell, what's up? And Bryce Coe. I'm hoping I'm saying the names right. This is what we're going to be shooting B-roll with today. And the B-roll is for this, just to show some different ways you can use it. So I'm just going to set up some little product shots here and see what I can do with this. I'm going to be using this OC monitor. Good, I'm glad I pronounced it right. I'm going to be using this OC monitor to monitor my video with my main camera. And I'm also going to connect this to the live stream. I have the Mars 400S on here, and I'm going to use that with my main camera, and then I'll go out from here into the live stream once it's set up. So I'm just going to get this behind the table. Or maybe not behind the table. Maybe I'll keep it over here. Do I have a long enough HDMI cable? I think I do. I have to grab a longer HDMI cable. Just a moment. Okay. How many people? We have 5 people here right now. Okay, cool. So let's first get this all connected and get my B-roll camera. I'm going to shoot the B-roll with the Zcam E2. Usually I'd prefer to use the E2 F6, but mine is actually broken right now. I have to have the HDMI port repaired. So for today we're just going to go with the E2. Let's get this plugged in here. should be fine. Just have to be careful not to trip over this cable here. And I'm going to be shooting the B-roll using the Zeppin Micro 2 slider. This is the motorized version. I have a review of this if you haven't seen it before. This is a really great slider. Definitely my favorite that I've used. Make sure this is nice and tight here. And I have it on the Terrace tripod. This is the TS-N6 head. I have it actually on the cheaper Terrace legs. I love this head. It's a really great cost performance video head. Let's grab my camera. I was out on a shoot this morning since 4:30 a.m. on a farm. And I'm pretty sleepy right now, but still got all my camera gear packed up. So let's get it out. And right now I have the 24-105 f4 lens on here. I'm not sure if I'm going to switch over to a macro lens or something like that, but we'll just leave that for now. I have to put a head on here too. All right, the bottom of my small rig cage for the E2 has a built-in, what do you call it? Arca Swiss plate, a built-in Arca Swiss plate. So I am going to use that with my Arca Swiss head because that can tilt at some more, a bigger variety of directions to get some more unique shots with the slider. If you guys have any questions or anything about anything, just let me know. Anything that I'm using or anything like that. Let's just keep this build minimal. Let's put some NPF batteries into the camera to keep it lightweight. This is number 2. I should grab number 1 first. I always number my batteries just so that way I can remember which ones are used and which ones are not used. Yeah, that's not good. There we go. If I can get this battery in there. I don't know why I'm having trouble getting the battery in there. Sometimes the pins on the E2 are a little long. So, you know what? There we go. Troubleshooting live. I'm going to, I don't know if anybody cares about this, but this HDMI bracket is actually blocking me from angling the battery enough to get it in there. I'm going to remove that because I don't really need it anyway. If I can find, I have a million of these Allen wrenches of various sizes. If I can find the right size here. See, it's a little bit smaller than that. If this is a boring live stream, I apologize. Please, please, please feel free to ask more questions. All right, I'm just going to dump all these out. This one looks like it's a good size. There we go. Can't remember if this HDMI bracket is, I think it's from Nitzy or Small Rig, I can't remember. But like I said, the HDMI port position means that sometimes even with thicker HDMI cables, just having the HDMI cable plugged in blocks the battery from tilting in at the right angle a little bit. So I got that removed. And now, there we go. We can get the battery in. All right. The HDMI cable. Let me put this HDMI mount somewhere. How do I like the E2 F6? I love the E2 F6. I'm really sad that I had to send it out for repair. But it's, I mean, the original E2 is definitely a solid camera as well. But I do prefer the F6. I don't have the drop-in ND filter yet, but that will be a big advantage for the F6, as well as I feel like the image does look nicer. That you can, in challenging, sorry, the noise of this. In challenging situations, I feel like you can see the difference in dynamic range. Excuse me. The noise is really under control. So, like even shooting at 2500 ISO, I feel like even if you underexpose a little bit with the F6, the image is really clean. Whereas on the E2, you definitely have to try harder to overexpose so you can pull it down in post and cover that noise up a little bit. Diego Lima, nice to see you here. And of course the full frame option is nice on the F6. And of course you can shoot some high frame rates too. It does crop in a bit, but I mean at that point the option would be the original E2, which is cropped anyway. So I don't mind sacrificing a little bit of a crop for higher frame rates, and then when you're shooting up to pretty reasonable frame rates, 4K, I think it's up to, I can't remember off the top of my head, 48 frames per second before it starts cropping. It's really good. What are my thoughts on the F8 versus the F6? I haven't tried the F8, but I mean 6K is overkill for me, so I definitely don't need 8K, and I think that the low light performance of the F6 is going to be a little bit better, although you might not really see much of a difference, but it's going to be a little bit better because of the larger pixels. And I think, I'm not positive, but I think that there are more options for high frame rates on the F6 compared to the F8. That may be wrong, so don't quote me on that. But that is also a nice perk of the F6 over the F8. And I didn't feel like I'd be gaining anything extra really significant for the F8 to go up in price another, I think it's $1,000. Yeah, so the F6 has been more than enough for me. It's a lot of camera, I guess you could say. I have to go grab the 400S transmitter, which is upstairs. Gotta remember that these cables were originally with the 400S. Now I'm switching some different cables. How many people? We have 5 people watching now. And I don't know, I gotta advertise this live stream a little bit better. Let's throw this on top here. Let's throw it on the side. I think it's probably better. Do I have any? I do. But that's okay. Sorry, I'm kind of talking to myself here. So Marlon Parnell Do you shoot with the E2, or what camera are you shooting with at the moment? Get something like that. It's kind of a weird setup. Sony a7 III. Cool. How do you like that? I know that a lot of people complain about Sony menus, the menu system. I'm not a huge fan from what I've seen, but I haven't used it much, so it could just be that I'm not familiar with them. People complain about Sony colors too, but does it give you any trouble? I know a lot of people that use it and love it. And it's a pretty good price too. I forget how much the A7 Mark III cost, but for what it can do, it's a pretty solid price. Just remembered that my Arca Swiss head is over there. So I'm gonna need to find a tripod for that camera so I can take that head. So you're new to video, do you use it a lot more for photo, or you just got started in general? Excuse the noise, I just had to grab another head because I forgot what I was using for my main camera there, and I wanted to use that. Oh, hello there. Marlon, how long have you been doing photography for? And what got you over to the video side, moving over from photography? Phil Allen, nice to see you here. Today I'm going to be shooting some B-roll for this Chameleon LED tube from Digital Photo, and I'm going to be using this. So I'm just going to show some examples of how you can use it. I just need a couple of clips. So the actual products, I'm not sure what I'm going to shoot yet, maybe a lens or something, just to show some different ways that this can be used. I actually started with drones. Nice. Suyan Su. I'm sorry, I'm really gonna butcher that pronunciation of that name. Hi, nice to see you here. It's cool to see we finally have a few more people here. And so Marlon started with drones. That's cool. Drones are fun, but I'm not such a specialist. Okay. Where did I just put that now? Here we go. A few months ago, I guess. Time flies, but a few months ago I was flying my Phantom 4 indoors, which is probably a bad idea, but it was a huge place. We were inside of a big factory kind of, and they wanted some drone footage, like, you know, going. It was huge, so there was a lot of open space, but they wanted some drone footage going down, you know, the center of the factory. What we didn't know is that on the top there was one window open, and then there was one door somewhere down below. So there was like a super sudden, super strong cross breeze. So we were flying down there, and just suddenly out of nowhere, the drone just took off to the side, crashed into the wall, slammed to the floor, and completely broke into pieces. That was heartbreaking. How? Architectural and fine art. That is a very specialized and difficult kind of photography. That's pretty cool. Architectural photography has always interested me, but I feel like it's probably best to leave it to people who are really specialized in that area. The Inspire 2. Lucky you. Sorry for this camera. I'm going to switch the tripod, so just bear with me for a moment. God, it's windy today. I don't know if you can see or not, but I apologize for the weird line at the bottom of the video. Having trouble, I'm not sure if it's the HDMI port on this camera or if it's the cable or what, but I'm having trouble with the signal from the EOS R for this live stream. The other day when I tried it, it was just a black bar at the bottom. Today it seems to be more of like a weird glitchy bar. So I apologize for that. I'm going to have to talk to YOLO Live to figure out what it is. It worked fine with the other camera, and I'm sure you'll see when I plug in the E2 that it works fine with that. It was just an issue with the EOS R. I don't know if my floor is crooked or this tripod is super crooked, but it'll do the trick. Okay, so let's get that over a bit more, something like that, I think. A little bit higher maybe, there we go. Okay. And now I can take this Arca Swiss head. This is taking me forever to actually get this going. Let me check on the comments here. Awful nice equipment. Scare me, that's the reason I haven't made any videos. I definitely want to get comfortable doing videography. Premiere Pro scares me. I hate Premiere. I don't use Premiere. I use Final Cut because I'm on a Mac, and it's much, much faster. Yeah, I think that the video being stretched out might be related to why the bottom is cut off. So it's actually like the full signal, but it's squished down, and then it has that little bit of extra space at the bottom there. I was trying to check the output settings from the EOS R and everything, but I couldn't figure anything out. I'm not exactly sure. I'm gonna have to show this footage to YOLOBox and see if it's something they've encountered before, and just go through the menu on my EOS R a little bit more and see if there's something I'm missing. The Mavic Mini, I actually just flew the Mavic Mini this morning. If you missed it, I've been up since, I'm not looking for pity, but I've been awake since 4:30 a.m. this morning. I was out shooting cows, actually. Some farmers milking cows super early in the morning. But yeah, we flew the Mavic Mini because the, like I said, the Phantom 4 Pro that we broke a few months ago, my business partner broke it again like a week ago, so it's out for repair. So we flew the Mavic Mini, and it was really, really convenient. It's not as stable as like the Phantom or something with wind or anything like that, but it was pretty good and the image looked okay. But the battery life was pretty bad. That seemed to be the biggest issue. We would fly it just a bit, and then pretty quickly we would have to go and switch out the battery. And we went through 3 batteries pretty quickly, and that would definitely be the biggest downside for me. Early bird does get the worm. I know, we finished shooting at like 9:30, and it felt like I had been awake and working for so long, but it was still just 9:30. It was really nice though, because then I could come home. I stopped at a few stores on the way home, and I could still come home at a good time and get some stuff done like this. So let's get this camera on, get the Hollyland. I don't have any batteries on the Hollyland. Alright, I number all my batteries, but I can't find battery number 1. So we're going to start with battery number 2 here. Put that onto the Hollyland. Let me move this out of the way a little bit. Okay. There we go. Okay, power on the Hollyland and power on the receiver. And once that's up and going, I'll switch this over to picture-in-picture so that way the main view is from this camera. Let's do picture-in-picture here. All right, I'm back. There we go. Okay, so now I apologize. The Zcam, obviously, you're seeing the log footage here, but that's all right. Here, let me, I can put the settings on screen too, I think. There we go. So you guys can see all the settings and everything. That's pretty cool. Any big differences in usage between LED bars, panels, and studio lights? Yeah, for sure. This is definitely going to be a narrower source of light, of course. So it's not going to be as soft for like a key light or something where you need a little bit more spread to wrap around somebody's face, for example. It's not going to wrap around quite as much just because physically it doesn't have that size. But it's going to give you some cool effects. It can obviously fit in 2 tight places, and you can hold it in your hand so you can move it as you're shooting, which is what I'm going to do first. And it has this one in particular. It's RGB, so it has a bunch of like effects and stuff built in. And I have some quasar tubes as well, but this one has battery power, so it's really convenient. I don't have to plug it in. The quasars that I have do need wall power, so those are a little bit annoying to use sometimes. But panels are generally going to be smaller. As you get, of course, there are larger panels, but the larger you go, the more expensive they're going to get, and the more heavy they're going to get, which means you need more specialized gear for rigging it up. You can have something like this large source right here. This is on the nice photo. It's like similar to the aperture lights, which I don't love this light, but it's what I had here. It was the most powerful light I had, so I put it in this aperture light dome. And this is much larger, so it's going to be softer. It's going to wrap around the face a lot more. Depending on how you use it, you can feather it away and get more shadows with it, but it's going to be a bit more flattering for skin, for people's faces. LED panels can be, but they need to be a little bit large to do that. So you can, of course, shoot them through more diffusion. A light like this has a Bowens mount, so you can put more accessories on it, like this softbox or a Fresnel lens or a whole bunch of stuff. There's definitely pros and cons to each type. This tube type is a very specialized type. It's going to, fit in tight places. You could tape it up under the cabinets of a kitchen, for example, or tuck it behind a couch in a living room or in the corner, or I mean really anywhere, just to get a little bit of an accent light or a special effect light or something like that. So they're kind of more for the fun than they are for main lights. It's something that I would recommend you get after you get lights that you can use as your main key light, and even maybe one more. I like questions like that though. Keep them coming as I try and figure out what I was planning to do here. Let's shoot some B-roll of the Laowa 12mm lens, because it has that really cool bulbous front element that will reflect the light really nicely. Maybe I'll put it on this black foam core. Maybe. I'm not sure. It's pretty marked up, so it'll look okay or not, but we'll do that. I want to shut off some lights, but then my light will be gone. So right now, we're just going to leave it like that. Let's see here. And let's get my settings. I'm on ISO 2500 right now, right? I want to bring this down. I want to get this as dark as I can, so that way I can use mainly, where am I going? Mainly the tube light to get the effect I'm going for. Let's leave it around there. Where am I at? Oh no, I'm changing my shutter speed. I didn't want to do that. Aperture. There we go. So let's bring it right around there. Let's go to f5.6. So that way most of my light is going to be coming from the LED tube. Does the newer version have the RGB built in as well? And how much was it? I'm not sure the cost. Usually newer is a bit cheaper. This one I can't quite remember, but I believe it was over $200. It's going to be a little bit tricky without getting this in the shot, but it's kind of spilling onto the bottom too much there. But you can move it around, you can get some creative effects like that. I'm going to use the slider too, so as it's moving, you can get a cool reflection in the glass too. That's why I wanted to use this. Something like that. And then I can pull it down even more in post, so that way it's really black all around. I wish I didn't spill onto this quite so much. This is pretty scratched up, but you'll get the idea. Something like that. And I'll use the slider too to get some movement in there, if I can. $100, not bad at all, including RGB. Is it a 2-foot tube? This one's 2-foot. They do have 4-foot as well, which would be probably more appropriate for something like using as a key light if you had a few of them. Let's get this slider going. Throw in another battery. Go for battery number 3 here. Just a small NPF battery can run this slider for probably about 4 or 5 hours, which is really nice. And you can program movement into it. This is medium speed. I want to get this down to the lowest speed so I can keep up with it. So we'll do something like, from there we'll set my point A by double tapping. And we'll move to my point B somewhere around here. That's a good distance, I guess. Oops. Double tap to set my B point. I accidentally changed the speed. Okay. There we go. So let's see. Let me grab this LED tube here. And I want to come around this side. Something like that. Just a little special effect kind of. I would only use like a second from this. Yongnuo, yeah. I have seen the Yongnuo tubes actually. It's basically the same as newer anyway. I have some Yongnuo flashes. I don't love them, but I don't hate them. I'm going to format this card here so I can actually record this. I really do wish that format was the first option in the menu instead of clear settings, just so there was no risk of accidentally clearing my settings without noticing it. I do format card much more often, obviously. Little note to Zcam. I'm sure they're not watching. There's only 5 people watching. But let me see. Let me share this on my personal page too. I wonder if anybody else will tune in. Let me go back to my page here. Find that post I posted that I'm live. And let me share that on my personal page. Okay. I don't know if anybody else is awake right now. Yongnuo LED. I actually have a Yongnuo LED panel, I think, right here. And is this? I think this is Yongnuo. This was one of my... This is buried between other stuff. This was one of my first LED panels as well. This is the Yongnuo... Is it the same? YN600 Air. What did you have? YNS600. This was one of my first LED panels. Still actually pretty good. It's a good size. This is the YN600 Air. It's really, really thin, and it's fairly bright. You can power it off of 2 Sony NPF batteries or wall power. It comes with the adapter. It actually is pretty good, and I've checked with the Seikonic light color meter recently, and actually the quality of the light that comes out of here is surprisingly good. So yeah, this was the first LED panel that I ever had, I think. I might have had a smaller aperture one before this, but it's held up even though it's really plasticky. And it has that kind of diffusion built in. This is actually a pretty good purchase. Yep, same one without the air. I was considering when I got this if I wanted to go with the air version or the other. The other version I think has barn doors built in, right? I thought that looked convenient. All right. Somebody commented on Facebook. Rome Pierce. Rome Pierce, are you here? All right, let's do something even more fun. With the E2, you can start and stop recording. Sorry, I'm totally out of range here. Just a second. Okay, so with the E2, you can actually fill Alan for someone starting out. What 1 or 2 pieces of equipment are must-have for doing videography, other than cameras, obviously? Good question. 1 or 2 pieces of gear. I guess it would depend on what type of videography you're doing. If you're doing something like YouTube, or if you wanted to do interviews, then I would say maybe 1 good light and 1 good microphone. And that microphone could be a lav mic. I'm using a lav mic right now. This is the Voice Technologies VT500 mic on the Deity Connect wireless system. You don't have to have all of that, of course. But some kind of mic, you could have a shotgun mic, but some kind of microphone, of course, if you're going to be filming people, interviews, YouTube, and a light. Any kind of light, like we just said, that YT, Yongnuo, whatever it's called, something 600 Air or the original 600 are pretty cheap, and they did pretty decent. I would recommend, of course, aperture lights if you have a little bit of a bigger budget. But there are also cheaper options for Bowens mount style lights as well. And I have like the Light Dome Mark II here, but any kind of softbox will do. There are definitely benefits to a more expensive softbox like this, but generally speaking, the output from a cheaper softbox is not going to be all that different. And with cheaper LEDs, you like the, what's it called? I have a few. Anyway, Golden Eagle. I have one of their LEDs right here. As I drag the cable across the floor, I have this. I just turned off my heater. The Golden Eagle LED. This is just a couple $100s, which is a lot cheaper than the aperture versions. The color might have a little bit of a shift, like a green shift or something like that, but it's not that bad. Godox makes some pretty decent ones as well, and the things you're going to be dealing with if you buy cheaper LEDs instead of more expensive LEDs is mostly fan noise. They might not be as portable, like they might not have battery power options. They might not come with a carry case. The physical build quality might break over the years. Maybe it'll last you a while, but it might break over the years sooner than something like an aperture light would. Color quality, a lot of the LEDs are pretty even. I wouldn't consider that like the main advantage of getting a more expensive LED. The advantages as you go up in price definitely come with small little improvements here and there across the board. Aperture lights by far are the quietest in terms of the fan noise. They're pretty powerful. The color and everything, of course, is great and consistent, which is nice if you're mixing more than one light. If you only have one, then a little bit of a shift doesn't quite matter as much, as long as you got your white balance set. But yeah, anyway, to make a long story short, a microphone and some sort of light if you're lighting people. If you're not considering filming people, let me know, and I will reconsider the two pieces of gear that I would recommend. Falcon eyes, yeah, Falcon eyes lights are pretty quiet. If you get the panels, like I have this flex panel here. These are not cheap, of course, but like these flex panels, of course, whether it's from Falcon eyes or any other maker, have absolutely no noise at all. And you can get soft boxes for these. They come with soft boxes usually. I think this is Falcon eyes. Yeah, this is Falcon eyes. But these have absolutely no fan noise. So if you're concerned with that, these are really great. And I'm acting like a sponge right now. I mean, I hope that this is useful information. I tend to ramble quite a bit, but this is interesting. This is definitely interesting. I should turn the power for this off so I don't kill it while I'm not using it. Let me film that one scene quick here. I have this at 50%, 59%, 50% was fine. 5600K should be all right, I guess. Let me get my custom white balance first. That is another thing I would definitely recommend. Let me show you probably one of my most valued pieces of gear that at first I thought was overpriced, but it's absolutely not. It's incredibly, incredibly useful. Should I show it to this camera? This is the color checker white balance card here. This one right here. It's a gray card, a large gray card, which is nice, just easier to get it to fill the screen for custom white balance. And I've been using this one for years. I should probably get a new one because it's pretty worn out. But just fill the screen with it wherever you are, set a custom white balance, and you are good to go. Since I use this, I have never really had to worry about color, like my white balance, whether there's a green or magenta shift or whatever from outdoors, indoors. This is really, really a time saver, a lifesaver. I would really, really strongly recommend this. I also have like a collapsible one, like those foldable reflectors, the round ones, and it's just a little one. But I found that this one is a bit more accurate. Maybe the way that the other one bends or reflects light is a little bit less accurate. But whenever I use this as my gray card to set my custom white balance before I shoot, absolutely no problems in post with color. It really, really is a lifesaver. So right, I need to use that right now. Let's see. So this is the way that I would use it. This is where I'm going to be lighting my subject. And this is pretty underexposed right now because I wanted it to be. But I'm going to set my white balance. On the Z Cam, you can set your custom white balance. I have it set to a function button. Just get the gray card to fill the screen. Hold that button down for a few seconds. And I think you can see on screen right at the top, it's switched over to 4700K with +0, which is the tint, the magenta or green tint. And that's all there is to it. Now my white balance is set. The problem is, I'm not sure if this light is going to match the rest of the lights that I have on here. So what I want to do is grab my Cyclonic C800, which is honestly a little bit overpriced, but if you have the budget for it, it's incredibly useful for situations like this. Because, for example, the white balance on my camera is at 4700K, but the white balance on these lights is at like 5600K. Just the way that the white balance in the Zcam E2 works is like that. So I want to check the output from the light because I can't set my LED tube to 4700K now because I know that 4700K on the camera is not what these lights are actually set at. And I want all my lights to match. So I just take the C800, take a quick reading of the light right here. It's about 5300K. So I'm gonna now test my light, the chameleon tube, and it's at 6500K. So even though it's set at 5600K, it's actually outputting 6500K. So I'm going to turn that down. Let's go to 4700 just to see if it matches what I have in the camera. Actually, it does. 4700K on the light matches about 5300K output on this color meter. So that will match now these other lights that I have here. And I should have good color across the board in this video. Yeah, multi-camming with different lenses. Custom white balance is an absolute must. It's all I really need most of the time. I do have the color checker passport as well, which you can really make sure to match your cameras perfectly. But most of the time I don't find that necessary. Alright, so what I'm going to do first, with the Zcam E2, I have the antenna in here now, so I can actually connect to it with my iPad, which, is this still in the camera? I think it's still in the camera, right? Maybe not. Yeah, maybe just barely. But I have my iPad right here, and I can open up, let me connect to the Zcam first, and I can start and stop recording right from here, as well as monitor what I'm doing. This is my iPad, right? This is not even my iPad. It's my wife's iPad. I grabbed it by mistake. Alright, so I'm not going to be doing that. Let's just forget about that. Forget I said any of that. The C800 is very expensive. I think it's like $1,600 for the C800. I mean, it is worth it if you have it in your budget, but it's absolutely not in everybody's budget. Yeah, it's pretty expensive. Alright, so let's just hit record on the camera. Let's double tap this to get the motion started. And let's now move across with the light. I am filming in 48 frames per second right now, so that'll be a little bit slow when I play back on the computer. Stop recording. I think that should be fine. Maybe let's play it back just to double check. This is playing back now. So, I mean, it's not necessarily exactly what I wanted. I guess I need a cleaner table, but let's do it again, just see if I can get any better results out of it. Okay, so let's hit record once again. Double tap to get the motion started. Let's try and bring it a little closer. Oh, my hand was in the shot. There we go. Kind of stopped right when I got the good shot. I think I got an okay shot there. Let me try it once more. Normally I'd be doing this without all the other lights on. There we go. Something like that. This is just for an example anyway. Normally I would be doing this without all the other lights on, and I would be able to get a little bit more dramatic, specialized lighting. But, of course, I need lights for myself, so I'm going to leave those other lights on for now. But that is my setup number one for how to use an LED tube, just for some special kind of lighting, add a little bit more dimension to B-roll or something like that. It's definitely far from all that I could do with it. Let's leave the lens right here and let's try something else with some of the special effects that are built in. Let's tilt this slider down a bit. So I'm going to be going down right towards it. My mic's totally in the way here. Let's make sure that I'm lined up. So, I mean, this is partly to show off, I guess, the this slider here, which has quite an impressive, before I say that, let me make sure that it is still working here. Yeah, has quite an impressive payload. Cool. So even though this is a pretty heavy setup here, this is no problem for the motor in the Micro 2. Let's start out around there. Let me get my focus. I'm gonna start off with the focus, let's say, on the far end where the D starts, because I'm gonna slide back, I'm gonna slide up. So as I move further away, that focus will shift closer to the front of the lens. This is not using autofocus, of course. And I'm actually going to make this darker. Let's go up to f8. What camera and lens are you shooting the lens with? This is the Zcam E2, and I'm using just right now the 24-105, the Canon 24-105 f4 lens. Nothing super special. It's a very good camera though. I'm really happy with it. My Zcam E2 f6 is in the shop. I actually was checking the tracking before, and I believe it's finally arrived in Hong Kong. So hopefully they should be able to repair it and send it back soon. I miss it. So my idea for this next shot is not necessarily something that can't be done with another light. There are other lights, including pocket LEDs and stuff, cheaper than this, that can also do some special effects. But this does have special effects built in, so might as well show it. Let's see, effects. Let's go to, let's choose lightning. And you can choose the intensity. Let's choose, go back to 50%, which was okay. Although I did darken the exposure on the camera, so let's boost it up to, let's say, like 85%. Speed, I want this to go pretty fast, I guess. And the frequency, let's go up to the most frequent, 6 frequency. So then I'm going to throw it like, let's see if I can get a little flare. That was kind of cool. Flare is cool, but I want to be able to see. Let's light it from an angle or something here. I'm not sure how this is going to work. I'm curious. It's shooting in 48 frames per second, so 50% slow motion. I'm curious how those flashes will look, but let's try it. So this is my idea here, just to start off around this position. I'm going to start a little bit lower just so that way I can have that buffer. Double tap to set my point A. We'll zoom out a little bit. Nothing too dramatic. Maybe I should speed it up a little bit though, because this is too slow. But I want to zoom out, not zoom out, slide out until the focus is around the front of the lens, and I'll go a little more as a buffer. Set my point B, speed it up. Let's see, make sure my speed is on setting 2. Let's hit record and double tap to start the motion. That's not what I wanted. It wasn't all the way. There we go. Okay, cool. That was actually pretty spot on what I wanted to do. Let me play that back just to make sure. Turn this off because that's annoying. I'm not sure if I'm going to slow this down and keep it at 24 frames per second, but I'm still recording. Stop recording. Check that out. play, of course. So this was just moving in. I'm off center a little bit. That kind of bothers me. No, whatever. It's fine. Yeah, the lightning effect. I mean, all the effects actually work pretty decently. The lightning effect you can dial in to be slower, to have more space in between each of the flashes. You can do a couple different patterns of lightning. The special effects in that chameleon tube are actually pretty decently various. You can customize them quite a bit in terms of speed and everything like that. It's not bad at all. But okay, that was kind of my shot number 2, I guess. These are not going to be perfect, like I said, because I have all this lighting and everything here that's interfering a bit, but I just wanted to show some different ways that you could theoretically use this. This is an RGB tube, so let's get some RGB effects going in there. And actually there's this cool RGB effect, I guess, in this tube because it's, you know, a long tube. You can cycle between different colors on the left and the right. So I can put that behind the lens maybe and have different colors coming in from either side, since, you know, this is kind of a narrow subject and the light is obviously a wide subject. What angle do I want to shoot that from? I want to blur that out more, but let's get my camera at the right angle first. Straighten that out, get the camera down a little bit lower. Okay, this is uneven somehow. Is my floor that uneven? I guess my floor is really significantly uneven. But let's get this head straightened out a little bit. Okay. Let's move this forward a bit just to keep it balanced. I was off center. I should have been more careful. Let's move this back a bit and make sure it's centered. I think that's centered. Let me see. I'm not going to use the tube as the key light this time, so I'm going to brighten this up a little bit. Let's open that up as far as I can go. Because I'm using the E2 with the Metabone speed booster, it actually, even though it's an f4 lens, it actually opens wider than f4, which is cool. Let's get this straight, actually. Center it. And let me maybe drop a backdrop behind there. Let me see here. I'm going to drop a simple gray backdrop behind this, which I already have set up just to clean things up a little bit more. Get this tripod out of the shot since I'm not using it. And what I was thinking, I'm not sure if this is going to work or not, or if it's going to look good or not. I know it's going to work. I don't know if it's going to look good, but let's, where was it? Pulsing color chase, I think, was the option. This is for RGB. So I'll have red, green, and blue light going back and forth. Can you see that? It's kind of cool, I guess. It's at 50% now, the highest speed. One weird thing about this chameleon tube is for the speed, when it says 1% speed, that means the fastest. When it goes up towards 100% speed, that's actually the slowest. So I think speed is the wrong word they wanted to use there. It's more like the interval. But could line that up. This is going to look really stupid. Maybe I should put it up here somewhere instead. I guess that's a little bit cooler. I don't know if it's cool or not, but it's definitely one of the ways that you can use this. I want to get the camera at a little bit of a lower angle, but the tripod's too high. It's okay. Can I put this lens up on something? What did I do? Ah. So yeah, 100% speed is like almost at a dead stop. I don't want to see the actual table that much. Lighting from the top is better, yeah. Still not thrilled about actually seeing the table though. I want to maybe see if I can boost this up a little bit higher so that way I can get more of a completely straight shot, not with any downward angle at all. Let's grab a box. This is a box from the Holy Land Cosmo 600. And let's just put it under this and see if that helps at all. Let's tilt this up a little more so it's straight across. Get it centered again. Gotta get the lens straight again. Get my camera straight. I think that's straight. I should turn on guidelines here. I think that's centered. Let me turn on some guidelines so I can make sure that this is straight. That's not straight, is it? It's totally not straight. Menu. Markers. Crosshatch. On. Yeah, that works. That helps to see. Some crosshatch helps to see if I'm straight or not. Perfect for what you were going for. Yeah, I mean, it's not like it's going to be a super special shot, but just to show a little bit of what this can do. Now that looks more straight, I believe. Let me do this up a little bit higher. All right, I think that's straighter. Is that straighter? Yeah, that's straighter, right? It's pretty straight. Close enough to straight. That's not straight. It's still bothering me. I'm using a photography head, so it's not like it's going to be perfectly level unless I make it perfectly level. That looks a little bit better. And let's just get it centered more. Right there. If my whole tripod is off center, then I'm in more trouble anyway, but I think that's better now. I actually have an overhead light on. If I turn that off, it's going to make the background a little bit darker. Is it too dark? I could even light up the background instead. I guess we'll save that for another effect. We'll do that as a second shot. We'll do this as one of the shots. I don't know, which one? Switching colors in the background, or switching colors in the background, or switching colors as like this overhead light here. Either way, I should probably put a little light on the background too. Let's grab a pocket light, pocket LED. If I can find it. Are they downstairs? I thought they were up here. I don't know where they went. Background first. Background with the alternating color effect, or background with like just some solid color? Yes, to which one? Background with the alternating color, you think? All right, let's do it. So let's get my slider shot set up first. I want this to kind of zoom in a little bit. Maybe I'm going to go a little bit slower though. This is still not perfectly centered. Let's center it like there. Let's get the focus so that way it comes into focus as it slides back. Yeah, let's do that. And then I'm going to slow it down a little bit because that's a little bit too fast. I'm actually going to go from way over here because I want time for myself to move into position. Set point A. This will be basically point B. Just go a little past it. And then let me slow it down there. So I think this speed, I don't know, coming into focus or pulling out of focus, either way. Actually, coming into focus is kind of cool too. If I did pulling out for the last shot, then maybe pushing in for this shot is a better idea. So let's go back to, is it still moving? No, it's not still moving. Go back to point B, I guess. Let me speed this up. All right, now slow it down. Hit record. And then go into position. Did I miss it? I wasn't really paying attention. Stop recording. Let's play that back. I guess I had that enough. Again, this is in 48 frames per second, so Can slow it down a bit. I think that did the trick. We have 5 viewers. Who else is here? What other effects do we have? Let me get this back. I'm going to switch up the slider movement for this next shot too a little bit. Or maybe I can do something more dramatic. Let's go back to white light mode. If I just stand, is this going to stand up on its own? Maybe. If I just stand this up and then let me boost this power up to 100. And then I'll set my exposure to match that better. So that way it's like it's only lit by one light, even though I have a bunch of other lights on. It's a bit more dramatic, I guess. I don't think it's clipping. Let me double check my waveform here. Yeah, that's totally fine. So that's a bit more dramatic, and it's nice even light because of the tube. I mean, this is still pretty short, so it wouldn't be that hard to do, but because it's a tube light, it does get a nice, I can turn it and control how much of that spill is going to go into the background. I'm going to keep it more dramatic right now, so that way almost all of the light is just right on the lens, and it's nice and even along the side there, nice and straight, because the light itself is just a line. Anybody else here? Anybody else here? Comment. Come talk to us. I can't find my little pocket LEDs. I can't remember where I put them. I wanted to throw one onto the background just for a little splash of light back there, which I think this really needs. I think I put them. Excuse me for a moment as I go and look for those lights. Why did I move them? I should never move stuff from where it was, because then I can never find it after. The studio space is still a little bit new for me, so I'm still kind of finding where I want to put everything, and then I'm losing stuff because I put it in the wrong spot. I mean, how hard could it be to find? It's not like they could be just anywhere. Nice. Godox R1. That looks pretty cool. $7. $7? That's a round head for the flash. What? Not $7. R1 RGB. That looks pretty cool. It's round. That could be fun. biggest problem is that I sometimes put little things like LED lights into a backpack and then I forget to take them out. I really, really want to put one of those there. I might end up using, you know what, let's use, we talked about the Young Nuo, what was it called? I already forget what it was called. But we talked about the Young Nuo YN600 Air. So let's use it. And I have a short little stand. This short little stand that I got from Manfrotto, I think. I hate Manfrotto, but I think this is the one thing that I still use frequently from Manfrotto. It's like a little stand. It's great for background lights because it's really low. You can actually just put stuff with a pin right into the bottom if you really want it basically touching the floor. But then you got like a pretty decent sized pole that you can also use in there. And of course this is the wrong screw thread size. Is the other side 1/4-20? This one's a 3/8. And the screw thread on the YN600 Air is 1/4-20. There we go. The other side, you know, I actually never noticed that one side was 3/8 on this pole and one side was 1/4-20. That's actually pretty useful to know. Now I can just screw that directly into, sorry, this is totally out of view here. Screw that directly into the YN600 Air. I'm going to grab some batteries. I think you can actually power this off of a single battery, but I'm going to grab 2 anyway. I don't think I'm going to need max power or anything, but for battery 4 and 6. I don't know where battery 5 went to. Battery 4 and 6. Power that on, and this is at 99% on both sides, so I don't need that much light. I just want, let's turn it down to 0 on one side, and let's get it a little bit closer to give a little bit smaller of a spot there. There we go. I think that looks nice. Just to stand out from the background a little bit more. There we go. That looks nice. I'm actually going to tilt this up just a little bit because I feel like there's too much space. Actually, I'm going to move the slider. I'm going to use a different shot. So 50 seconds, 3200K, cool. So I've been looking into cinema camera. I saw the E2C is insanely cheap. The E2C is definitely a great value. The only thing you're missing is like the higher frame rates, but if you're not going to use those anyway, then it doesn't really matter. You know what, let's just keep this the same. I'm going to keep this the same as the last shot just because I'm getting hungry and I want to go eat lunch soon. But let's keep it more in like that. And our last shot we pushed in, so this shot will pull out, I guess. I don't want to start it from too out of focus in the front, just so that way it's not really weird, like when you start the clip. Start there. And we'll finish there, I guess. Set my B point. Let's make it a little bit faster too. let's hit record. Double tap to start it. Oops, wasn't at the end yet. Where's the button? Double tap to start it. Is it a little too fast? Let's go a little bit slower. Change the speed to the slowest speed. Try one more. It's going to be a very subtle sliding effect, which honestly I could probably do in post, but I have the slider here and I like it, so there we go. That's another shot. Yeah, I mean, for what it can do, $800 is definitely cheap. Although the standard E2 goes for probably under 2,000 now, I guess. And yeah, I shouldn't have left that standing. There we go. We'll pretend like that didn't happen. Luckily the lens is okay. Although I have dropped it before anyway. But yeah, so the E2, the standard E2 goes for, I think, maybe 2,000 or just under 2,000 depending where you buy it. And it can do 4K 120 frames per second, 4K 160 frames per second if it's cropped on the top and the bottom. And then 4K 120 full, you know, standard 16:9, which is pretty incredible. And it's in 10-bit video. The 120 frames per second is 10-bit 420, and then I think it's up to 72 frames per second you can shoot in ProRes 422 LT, and then as you go down you can go ProRes, higher qualities of ProRes. But for a $2,000 camera, that's incredible. It doesn't have a monitor built in, but you can get a cheap monitor for $100 and you can be up and running with it. But yeah, the E2C is really quite a nice camera as well. Alright, I'm going to do one more shot. So, does anybody have suggestions for one more way that I could use the Chameleon LED tube that's a bit unique compared to other LED lights? I should take a picture of how that was set up though, so that way I can show it in the review video. Let me just make sure that I don't drop this again. Somebody here? Let me put this down before I walk away. Hey, you're home, right? Okay. Yeah. I'm just finishing up a live stream. Does Kenji want to come say hi? Okay, I thought I heard his voice. Okay, you can tell Kenji to come inside in the studio if you want. David's not in the studio though. Alright, bye. I guess you can combine the sliding shot to side with the LED bar going across the Laowa lens, like both camera. Ah, good call, good call, good call. Let's set that up for the last shot. Hey Kenji, you here?
Yes.
You can come in if you want. Can you slide in past the paper?
Okay.
Yep.
Where are you?
I'm here.
Okay, I'm taking shoes off now.
Okay.
And I take
Yeah, come in. Can you see? Let me turn the light back on overhead. This is my son, Kenji. He's 7 years old, and he's off of school because of coronavirus. Can you see the screen over there?
Yes.
We're live right now. We're on YouTube right now. Oh, look, see? People talk to you, they say hi in Japanese. They say hi in Japanese for you. You can read it, right?
Hi, konnichiwa, Kenji-kun.
You want to help me?
Yes.
All right. Let's see. So let's get this in focus. We're going to take a video of this, and you see that like tube? I put it off to the side, hang on. So let's get that straight and get it in focus. And let's speed it up a little bit. So let's darken this down a little bit so that way our tube light will be the main source of light for now. Your son is 4. How old is Alyssa? 5?
Yes.
Is Alyssa home? Still at school?
No?
Oh, she's home?
Mm.
Was she outside with you?
No.
Oh. His little sister, my daughter, is 5, almost the same age. But she's in the house, I guess. Is that bright enough? Let's see. Let's turn this up a little bit brighter to 100% for now. Yeah, I'm gonna have to go over. I was thinking I could go a little bit under the lens like this and have Kenji kneel down and do that, but I think it's gonna have to go over the lens like this as we move. So you can combine. It's not bright enough. It's not bright enough, huh? So let's open up the aperture a bit to brighten up the exposure. Let's go to f4. And I'm actually going to turn this light off. I'm going to turn the background light off too. Yeah, above the lens is better.
Daddy is
Hmm?
working. He's working.
It's working? This brightness is working? Nice. So let's turn this light off. Sorry if the other camera is getting a little dark. Yeah, that's going to be much better, huh? So, can move across like that. That's kind of cool, right? So, like as I come this way, get that motion effect in the light too. Maybe you should start it from a little bit more of like a dark shot, right? And then as I'm moving, bring the light across there. Yeah, that's cool. That's a bit more dramatic. It's okay. You're a little bit too short for this one. Another slider for the light. There's an idea. The big problem with that would probably just be where to put the slider. I'd have to have it up pretty high so that way it wouldn't be in front of the lens as it moves across. If the light was moving in another direction that didn't go in the way of the lens, that would be totally okay. And I could totally do that. That would be an interesting way to do that too. But for now, let's just take the shot, I guess. Let's hit record. Get the light over there, and then as it's sliding across, I want to get the timing down a little more so that way it comes across right when it's in the middle, I guess. I totally don't need the sound effects, but I can't help but make sound effects with my mouth. Alright, let's see if we can get a little closer. Alright, come across. And light. I think, does that look alright? Perfect and dramatic. Nice. Yeah, that's a pretty cool shot. I like that idea. Combining the two motions to kind of emphasize each other. I'll try that one more time just to make sure. Right as it's in the middle. Like, the light was in the shot. Let me hold it a little bit closer to the end here. Okay, here we go. So I'll get it off to the side. And then, that was totally bad timing. I wasn't paying attention. All right. Here we go. And then just as it comes across the middle. I think the previous shot was better. But that will be that shot. That was a good shot. This is where my perfectionism from New Architecture. I know, I seriously can't stop the sound effects though. But yeah, that was cool. I mean, I think I could probably get it perfect. I'd have to put it into the computer and double check it again just to be sure, but I think that was pretty good. That was a fun shot. Can you think of anything else to do, Ken? I can think of something else to do. It doesn't involve the lens though. Yeah, let's move this out of the way. Let's put the lens here. Kenji, can you sit on the chair? You're the perfect height. I'm gonna slide this over a little bit though. And as I slam it down on the table. This is too bright, huh? But it's not as bad as a key light actually if I bring it like right in here. It's not too bad. Even just by itself. What do you think of that, Kenji? It's actually not that hard of a source considering the shadows are pretty soft actually. It's a bit dramatic because there's no fill, but let me grab a C-stand. So this comes with, I might as well use, I'm going to turn this off so I don't kill the battery. This comes with some mounting accessories. I should probably use those a bit and show it off. And let's see, I'll show it to this camera. This is one of them. So it's like this ring that has some screw threads on it. But you know what, honestly, I don't think I need this. I can just grab a C-stand and use the boom arm and just gaff tape it. Where are my C-stands? Let's see, throw a C-stand up right here. You're a good model. Thanks, Ken. Did you think you were going to be doing this today? No. No? I think I have a boom arm somewhere here. I don't have any more boom arms. Ah, I do. I don't need the C-stand. No, but this one's shorter. Shorter is good right now. You sit up a little straighter. There you go. Yeah, for a headshot, it actually works really nice. What am I looking for? Grip head. Let's put a grip head on here. Grab this boom arm here. And let's get it through here. So I can just throw out a boom arm like this. And I'm just going to grab some gaff tape. And I'm just going to tape this to the boom stand, which is one of the benefits of a tube LED. This is not something you could do with pretty much any other light. I'm going to tape it at both ends. I'm not even going to be very careful with it, just see how easy it is to angle where I want it. Turn the power back on for the light. Takes a second to power up. I owe the model big time. We'll see about that. How's that? Still a little underexposed. Let's throw up the power a little bit more. Does that look? I think that looks like a better exposure, right? This is still pretty underexposed. Actually, I'm going to take this out of VFR. So that boosts it up a little bit. Let's get you in focus. There we go. That's a pretty good looking light. Let's just hit record. You can look here. Say hi or something. I don't know.
Hi.
What a nice smile, huh? So in this position, actually, this is perfect for this key light, actually, and it looks pretty decent. I'm not unhappy with that at all, and this is only a single tube. But a single tube would also make a great hair light. So if I throw this back here, and maybe just throw it up a little bit higher, and turn it around a bit more, and tilt it down just so it's straight across. That's still too powerful, of course. Let me tilt that forward a little bit more. Let's turn that down quite a bit. Just a light hair light like that. And let me throw my key light back on here. Can you sit up a little more straight? There we go. Let me bring this back a little further. Makes a real nice and easy little rim light there for a little light on his head or his shoulders. There we go. I'm glad I kept recording that whole time. Multifunctional light. That's good. Now the studio becomes commercial beauty set. Yep. Do some cute pose. And don't forget, you're on YouTube right now. Did you know that? You're on YouTube right now. This is YouTube. You love watching YouTube, right? You're on YouTube right now. Live. Do you feel cool? Do you think Alyssa's going to be jealous? Let's see. Let's see if she'll come over here. And if she doesn't even realize that we're live on YouTube. Let me call Mom and tell her to have Alyssa come over. I have more people not watching now with the kids than I did without the kids. That's good. Hey, Alyssa's home, right?
Yes.
Can you send her over too? Don't tell her that I'm recording live on YouTube right now, because then she'll be too shy. Erica? But you can come too if you want. Yeah.
Not me. How about Abe?
Yeah, but she can't bring Erica. All right. Tell her to come on over and come see the studio. Bye. Alyssa's gonna come. Mom asked if I wanted Erica to come too. Erica's our 6-month-old baby, but Erica can't come by herself, and Mom said she doesn't want to come here. So don't tell Alyssa that we're live on YouTube yet, because then she'll be too shy. Now he can apply for commercial ads. Speaking of that, this is not for kids, so it doesn't matter. YouTube got so complicated with like having to specify recently if the content is like for kids or not for kids. So you're a kid, but this is not really for kids, so you should be okay. All right. Let me just take a behind the scenes picture of this to show the setup. Yay, smile. And show here that it was gaff taped to the pole. I think that's Alyssa. Okay. Secrets, secrets. Yes, we have to keep secrets from our kids. Is Alyssa coming? I wonder if Mom's like brushing her hair and stuff. My daughter has absolutely crazy, crazy curly hair. So every time she's like going out in public, we have to spend so long brushing her hair just to make it a little bit more acceptable. You make a good model. Do you have teeth back? Your teeth came back in? Halfway, huh? You have more teeth. Although most of it is come back, right? How many teeth did you lose?
4.
And so almost all of them came back in, right? You lost 2 on the top, right? And 2 on the bottom? So the bottom ones came in all the way. Just that one top one, not all the way in yet, right? What kind of popular lenses for micro four thirds? A lot of people use Panasonic lenses. I have a couple of Laowa ones, which are all manual, but they're really good lenses. Micro four thirds lenses. I don't like the focus by wire. Hey, Alyssa.
Hey.
Hey, you're here too? Okay. Here, stand next to Kenji. Stand next to Kenji. It's okay, come here. No, don't go upstairs, the lights, it's dark up there. Stand next to Kenji, look, you can see your face over here. Here, you can, it's okay, the doll's fine. Hey, Erica. Erica came too. My 6-month-old came too. Yeah, micro four third lenses. I had the 12 to 35, the Panasonic 12 to 35 before.
I love you, Mama, Erica.
Hey, yeah, let's push over a little bit, Ken. Hi. You want to hold her? What's going on, huh, Erica? Thank you. Say hi.
Hi.
I don't think they can hear you. The mic is on me. Say hi really loud.
Hi. this baby say hi.
But yeah, for micro four thirds, I'm using this E2, which is micro four thirds, and I had the GH5 before, which was also micro four thirds, but in both cases I used the Metabones speed booster with full frame EF lenses, and that's always been my go-to choice for EF cameras. And then if you move up to a full frame camera or a EF, even something else with an EF mount, then you already have the EF lenses. With micro four thirds, you can't escape from the micro four thirds mount. So this way just worked the most for me in the long term. The small one is so cute. Erica, they said you're so cute. You're really smiley now. That's good. You must have just ate or something, huh? There's a camera over there too, just so you know. I don't think you're going to get into the frame. I took your iPad by accident, by the way. It was not in the case, so I thought it was mine. Alyssa, did you know that you're live on YouTube right now? Can you see this? You're on YouTube right now. People are watching you right now on YouTube. Yeah, you too, Erica. It looks like you're using a field monitor with a LUT to preview your footage, is that correct? Yes, that's correct. So this one here. This is the OC 21.5 inch, I forget what it's called, L something. It's, I believe it's 1,000 nits, and I think it has HDR capabilities, and I have a LUT on there right now. I think I just have one of the Zcam LUTs on there.
Don't block me. Don't block Mama.
Actually, right now, this is
Hi, Mama.
user 1 log 2. This is the AX2 LUT. Oh, my face is totally in there. This is the AX2 LUT from Zcam. So if you download Zcam's LUTs, this is the AX2 LUT. I like the AX2. I think AX2 is supposed to be like a RE type LUT, Alexa type LUT, and there's an AR2, which is like a RE type LUT, I think. But I use the LUTs from Zcam mostly, and they work out pretty good. Yeah, the micro four thirds is really, really good. It gives you a wider aperture. Like this is a f4 lens right now, and I can shoot up to 2.5 actually, so I can open this wider if I need to. And it gives a wider field of view, almost like a full frame, which is really, really nice. And then again, yeah, I have like the EOS R2, so I can use the same lenses for both cameras, which is really, really nice. And then if you go up to like the Zcam E2 F6, then that's a full frame EF mount. They have EF mounts as well as PL mount. So EF mount, you can use the same lenses across the board. Just really, really flexible for me. It costs a little bit more, but it's definitely more flexible in the long run. I should turn off the picture-in-picture now because it's totally blocking people's faces. I didn't realize that. Let's switch this back to camera 2. There we go. Now you can totally see them. You want to sit on the chair? Here, I have a stool. I have a bench. This video went from how to shoot behind-the-scenes video and how to shoot B-roll into a family photo shoot really fast. Erica, you're talkative too, huh? Here, Alyssa, can you slide over a little bit more? There we go.
Can I say this is my little?
Yeah, you can talk if you want. I don't think them here. Talking to the microphone on me.
Yeah.
You can talk.
This is my baby, and this is my little girl.
It's not your baby, it's your baby sister and your little sister.
This is my baby, and this is my big boy.
Big brother. Both of you guys don't know how to use the word brother and sister. And who's that?
That's my baby. And that's my dad. And that's my mama.
They can't see them. Ha ha ha.
Little Bessie one is my Daddy.
What?
And Mama is my mama.
Surprise.
Let's come. Yeah. Come, chocolate.
This is only the second time I've live streamed anyway, so this is kind of like a experimental thing.
Daddy, come.
Erica's so happy too, huh? Because she can see herself on the screen.
I love you.
This is completely like off topic. Let me go back. There's space on the screen now. I'll go back to the multicam.
So funny.
It's okay. She tried to hide, but you got her on camera. They saw you. You're on camera now too, I think, by the way. It's super small in the corner, but the bottom corner. That camera is in the bottom corner. You can hide behind it.
Hi. No, so.
You can't hide anywhere now.
No.
There's nowhere to hide.
Please. Please. So far.
So random indeed, yeah. I should change the name of this to not B-roll behind the scenes, but like family behind the scenes.
Please. I love you.
Can you hear the kids' voice? I have the pin mic on myself, but I'm not sure if you can hear their voice from here. They're pretty loud.
I say, please.
Yeah, you're loud too. Hi, Erica. There's not like a whole lot of people watching live. There's only like 5 people watching live, but like 200 people are watching like replay. So it's not that much. The mic picks up everyone's voices. So. I should record this too. There we go. Did you try to copy what this says nice? Why? What is that noise for? Okay. So you can hear them clearly. I think the audio is supposed to be coming from my mic, HDMI 2, which is currently, yeah, my mic. But I guess a lav mic picks up quite all of it quite clearly. Yeah, I definitely should record this. I'm going to zoom in a little bit more and get you a nice... Alyssa, can you sit down a little more? Sit down, sit down.
I'm showing my outfit.
You're showing your outfit. Okay, sure.
See my outfit.
Yeah, we
So
see your
cute,
outfit.
right?
It's so cute.
And Erica tried to take my other baby. And so high.
Yes, you're so high. I apologize to everybody who's watching this thinking it's supposed to be a B-roll behind the scenes.
And my pants is very flower. And my socks. See? And Erica tried to take again.
Sit on your butt, Alyssa.
This.
Yeah, that's a lens cap. That's kind of behind the scenes. Yeah, model number 2, and now we're going to have a fashion show, they said. Alyssa, sit back just for 1 second so I can get a nice image of you guys all together. Sit on your butt.
Why butt?
Why on your butt? Can you sit up a little more straight? Alyssa, sit down, sit down. Alyssa, sit down, sit down. Maybe Kenji, can you slide over this way a little more? I'm going to slide your whole chair.
What
There
are
we go.
you
Okay.
doing?
Like that. Is it too far?
Ah!
Okay, there we go.
Hi guys.
Alyssa, slide over a little more too. You know.
Kenji and Erica and
All right, and guys, come together. Yay! Alyssa, sit down on your butt. Sit down on your butt. She doesn't stop talking, ever.
And that's my daddy.
Should I come in the picture too?
Yes.
Let's see. Am I still recording? I'm still recording, huh? There we go.
My daddy.
It's like family picture time. Mom, you should come too. Alright, we're gonna have to save this. Let's everybody look at the camera though. Look at the camera, not the TV. Back up a little more, Alyssa.
Why
'Cause your face?
no TV?
Because if so, then we're not looking at the picture. Yeah. It's okay, it's okay. We got it, we got it. There we go. Yeah, let's shoot some B-roll with them, huh?
What is B-roll?
B-roll is video. Don't touch the glass part, okay?
Okay. Why?
Don't touch that top part, please.
Erica, don't touch it first, okay?
Stop recording.
Erica is trying.
Erica's trying to touch it? Yeah, Erica should not touch it.
So I touch glass.
Let's go handheld. In case you're still watching for B-roll, one of the nice points about using the Hollyland together with the what's it called? YOLO box. The YOLO box wireless. Not wireless. I can't talk now. Using the Hollyland wireless together with the YOLO box live streaming is that you can just go handheld and still live stream even handheld, which is pretty cool. Alyssa, you don't look happy anymore at all. There we go. B-roll of the lens. Right. What is that face?
What is happening to there before?
What's happening?
1, 2.
Erica's getting tired of it.
Take my hair.
Okay.
Okay.
She had enough. I wasn't recording that.
I love you, Erica.
There we go. There's some nice lens B-roll.
Huh? What happened?
What happened?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Don't touch me. Uh-oh.
Okay.
Hey.
Hey.
What is that?
You want to be a YouTube star, Alyssa? We should start a new channel, a kids channel. All right. I haven't even eaten lunch yet, and I've been awake since 4:30 in the morning.
So long kids channel.
What are you talking about? Hmm?
So long kids.
Yeah, sure. You can just stay here.
Okay. This stay so long.
You love it. I thought you'd be shy. You're not shy at all.
I get.
All right. I'm still on camera over there, right? Let me turn on the overhead camera because my face is all in darkness here.
My darkness.
All right. Let's go back to full screen on the main camera. Finish this up if anybody is still watching. There we go. All right. You guys can look at that camera, but you got to come over here a little bit more because it's out of the way. Come next to me. You can leave the chair. It's fine. Just stand up is okay. I'm going to say bye to everybody. I'll be sure to subscribe to your channel as well as Instagram. Thank you. Scott Dumas' kids channel.
I wanna see.
What would you guys even talk about? You guys, she could just talk forever. I have something in my sock. All right. But anyway, yes, so I got to eat lunch. This has been my second live stream. And it's been spanned quite a few topics, I guess. But I'm going to go eat lunch. So, if you're still watching, thanks for watching, as always. And if you want to see more about that Chameleon LED tube, I will have the full unboxing and review up very soon, within the next week or so probably. And I will also have a review of the YOLO box, which I am using to record this, stream this right now, live stream. It's got, as you've seen, picture-in-picture. You can do camera, dual camera switching. I forgot to actually, I wanted to overlay. Let me do that real quick just in case anybody's watching. You can overlay stuff. So if I wanted to overlay like a subscribe button, this is what I really meant to do the whole time. Let's see. Then I could put a subscribe button on screen. I'll have to look for a better file because this is apparently not transparent. But I can put a subscribe button on screen, which is kind of cool. You can play video over what you're streaming. You can do a lot more with it. But anyway, I'm going to have a review of that as well pretty soon. I recorded for like 3 hours the other day trying to get it all set up and worked out. Bye-bye to that camera over there.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
So, yeah, for now, thanks again. I saw the Zcam review a while ago. How's it holding up now that you... sorry, Dismal, we're just about to finish. But how's it holding up now that you've had it a while? Anything you wish it did differently? Not really. So I've been recording with the Zcam E2 for quite a while, and I have the E2 F6 as well, which I have out for repair right now, actually. But they're both awesome cameras. There's not really much that I wish they did differently, to be completely honest with you. I'd have to really think pretty hard to actually come up with anything that I really think I wish they would do differently. Obviously, they're not perfect, but they're doing pretty good with everything built into there. And yeah, the E2 F6 does also have the option for like a drop-in ND filter, which is even better. The E2 doesn't have that, and maybe that's one thing I wish I had on the E2. But that's probably pretty much it. But I'm sorry that you came in right at the end of the video, Dismal. But hey, Alyssa, don't push like that. You're bending my paper. Yeah, goodbye everyone, and thank you very much for watching through this live video. A few of you have been here the entire time. It's been over 2 hours now, so thank you for watching the entire time. And I will see you again, hopefully with some more live streaming. And thanks again. Bye. Say bye.
Bye.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.